Hello again. I'm still reeling at the idea proposed recently that the BBC is what the British government described as a trusted news source. Just who exactly is gullible and simple minded enough to trust the BBC? I could not say. Even when they tell the truth, they invariably manage to leave out some detail or other in order to slant the story in a certain direction. They do this even when reporting on something as routine and thoroughly uncontroversial as a car crash. Here is a neat example of their tactics. On April the 17th this year, the BBC website published a short piece headed Driver Sentenced After Manoeuvre Caused Nearby 4x4 to Crash. I give a link to this piece in the description to this video. Let's see, we are told about the dangerous manoeuvre which led to a vehicle overturning and both the driver and passenger being injured. And then we read that the other car's driver pleaded guilty to causing serious injury by careless driving at Northampton Crown Court and was given a 6-month suspended prison sentence. What's missing from this story? Well, the headline tells us that it concerns a driver sentenced after causing the 4x4 to crash, but we're not told the name of the driver who was sentenced. This is distinctly odd, unless, of course, the person who wrote that piece didn't know the name of the driver who was given this suspended sentence for nearly killing somebody. This is exceedingly unlikely because on the same day that that piece was published, the police in Northamptonshire published a press release which gave every detail of the whole incident and the court case which followed. We learn that the driver who caused this mayhem was called Franguta Aratsandai. A quick search of the records at Company's House tells us that she is Romanian. I give links to both sources of information, also in the description to this video. What has happened, of course, is that when giving an account of the road traffic accident and subsequent court case, the BBC journalists saw the strange foreign name and automatically decided to withhold it. So it is that we have a headline telling us that a driver has been given a suspended sentence, but we're not told her name or nationality. This kind of thing is now second nature, not only to BBC journalists, but those working for many other news sources, especially the ones which the government says are trusted news sources. In other words, these are the news sources which provide so little news in their reports that I'm compelled to search out information at Company's House and a local police force if I wish to know who the story is actually about. This surely cannot be a desirable state of affairs when I must do the investigating myself in this way. I'm sure that we might expect news providers to do this on our behalf. It is what millions of people pay their license fees for. Not that the BBC is alone in this, you understand. A lot of the time these days, I find myself having to become an investigative reporter in order just to fill in the gaps which I find in news stories appearing in the media. It's not only when it comes to immigrants, but also, of course, gender, and that is to say, men committing crimes who appear in court and are calling themselves Mary and being referred to throughout their trial as she, that kind of thing. It is quite literally impossible to rely upon newspapers and the television news to tell us what is going on in Britain. I rather think that many people now realise this, and like me, they go hunting out the missing details in news stories which they come across. I can say with perfect assurance that 40 years ago, I would not have had to sift through the records at Company's House to fill in the gaps in a news item published by the BBC. Something has changed in this country over that period, let's say the last 40 or 50 years, and not for the better either.